This is the top selling crossover SUV worldwide, and I'm talking about the very famous Toyota RAV4. So I want us today to take a look at this car and what makes it a very versatile vehicle, and actually what makes this car the top seller in the entire world. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about a Toyota RAV4, but here in Kenya the main challenge with the Toyota RAV4 is primarily the pricing. Here in Kenya, if you want to own a RAV4 like this, you'll be needed to cough at least 4.6 million shillings for this kind of trim, and for the other higher trims also you'll need to cough up to 5.5 million shillings. For example, a car like this you'll need at least 5 million shillings. A car like this you'll need also to have at least around 4.8 million shillings. But if you want the high grade hybrid, you'll need around 5.5 million shillings. So I'm out here today to show you this car and why it should be the best crossover SUV that you should go for, especially if you're looking for practicality, versatility, fuel economy, and also if you want a car that can venture into the Kenyan off-roads. This car can rival the very famous Subaru Forester because of a few factors that we are going to talk about. And today, if you're watching this channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe, like, and make sure you share our videos so that at least we get new people interacting with our content. Now, honestly, this should be a crossover SUV that you should go for, or this is the car that you should always look out for if you're not constrained in terms of the budget. If you want an SUV that will outperform almost all the other crossover SUVs in the Kenyan market, this should be your car. There are other cars that you can choose instead of the Toyota RAV4, of which you can always go for the Mazda CX-5. This is a Mazda CX-5 diesel. You can always go for the Lexus RX. This is an RX 300 which has 2-liter engine. You can always go for a Toyota Harrier, and this is a turbocharged 2-liter Toyota Harrier. If you don't need a turbocharged Toyota Harrier, you can go for the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder Toyota Harrier down here. And of course on the other side we have this slightly used Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, and of course there's another Mazda CX-5 XDL. This one has all the optional features. The only thing missing on that car is a sunroof. Other than that, that car has all the features that you need in an SUV, and it has a very good price of only 3.3 million shillings, and it is slightly negotiable. So guys, it's starting to rain and I wanted to do a review of this car, so kindly allow me to start the review from the interior. Then once the rains have subsided, we can check out the exterior of the car. But other than that, let me try a 360-degree view of the car, and this is basically what you get: a very beautiful SUV. And this one comes with Modelista body kit, so it kind of looks a bit more bulkier than the regular ones. And I know some of you guys love cars with body kit, some of you love cars with the stock body kit. So in this case, if you're looking for a car with the Modelista body kit, or if you want a car that has the stock body kit, both of those cars are available, and one of them is the one that I showed you earlier. All right, so we are we are inside this amazing SUV, and before we go far, let me show you the specs. And they're saying this is a 2019 Toyota RAV4, the GZ package 2019 model. This is of course the 2-liter variant. It has Modelista body kit. It comes with fog lights. It is a 4-wheel drive. You get panoramic sunroof, memory seats, leather seats, powered tailgate, and the mileage on this is 86,000 kilometers. So we will be able to verify all that as we continue with the review. And what I want to start with is let me show you how the interior of the car looks like, and of course starting from the cockpit, because this is where all the magic happens. And of course whoever will be buying the car would want to see how the car looks like from the inside. So starting from here, we have this leather wrapped steering wheel, which is it kind of feels good. This is some very good leather material. You get beautiful stitches, and also on the steering wheel you have several controls for the vehicle. Right here you have controls for the clusters. Of course you have your digital clusters right there, so you use these buttons to navigate through your clusters. So with these buttons you can play around. Lane keeping assist, lane departure assist, pre-collision monitoring system, blind spot monitoring system. Also you can activate your parking sensors using these buttons, so you'll be able to play around the controls or whatever you're seeing on the clusters using these buttons on the steering wheel. Most of us actually do not use these buttons. I don't know why, but yeah, I think some of us are just into a car that you can always get into it and drive to your destination without any issues. But I want you guys to know that you can always customize whatever is happening there. You can also control it, you can change the language and do almost every bit of stuff about this. So of course you're seeing it gives you several things for the vehicle. Of course you can go for vehicle settings and all that. So there are so many things that you can always go for. And of course it can give you extra details about some of the things that you cannot that you don't know. And also I don't know why it keeps disappearing that fast. And also you can switch off and on a number of features that are usually available on the car. So yeah, for a car like this, it's more than enough to give you the capability of controlling a few things here and there. Adaptive cruise control, this is a feature for modern cars. If you love driving in the highway, this should be a primary thing that you need to know how to use it. When the car is driving or cruising through the highway, itakusaidia ku keep distance. It will help you maneuver nicely all through without the driver being very, very active. But as always, we always advise you, if you can take the controls yourself, then it's much better than leaving it on autopilot. So this one has adaptive cruise control. Of course, you can see it has the radars over there. It can actively scan the road to see how far the car in front is from you. So let us start with the door. So basically, this is the build quality or the design of the door. For Toyota RAV4, I think it's nicely done, especially for a modern car like this. And on the top side, you have this synthetic leather. This is not actually, it feels like leather, but I know it's not leather. Amazing stitches. And this is primarily done to save on weight and add value to the car. The rest of it is just plastic like any other car, so there's nothing much to talk about it. And down here you have your power door controls, which are very much active, and also you have controls for the side mirrors on this side. Now down here on the door also you have a few things for you. You get 2 memory seat settings over there. So if you're sharing the car maybe with your spouse, you can put your settings on number 1, or you can put it on number 2. As soon as you press it, the car or the seats will assume the last settings that were put, or the last settings that were saved there. Plastic finishing on the door handle right there, which is okay. And then of course on the lower side you have this door bin here, which is not the largest. I think this is among the smallest, of which for a Toyota RAV4 I'd expect it to have a larger space. Speakers, it sounds good, but remember this is not the highest grade of the Toyota RAV4. For the highest grade you can get JBL audio, but for this no JBL today. So yeah, it's kawaida, so no problems about it. As you enter the car, you get this air vents, which actually looks good. Extra speaker over there. Storage space here, maybe for 1 or 2 things. If you have something that maybe you need it to be close by, you can put it here. And of course down here you notice that you have the poverty buttons that I was talking about. You have this button to open the tailgate. Something is missing here, you can hit the steering wheel. 2 other things are missing, and of course you can hit this button to ensure that your headlight stays adaptive. So it will adapt to the conditions, whether you're driving in a sharp bends, the car will be able to adjust the headlights accordingly. And also when it senses some bit of darkness from 6:30 p.m, you'll find it that the daytime running lights, if they were off, it will start going on by itself. On this other side you have this button to open the, what do you call it, the bonnet, and also this button to open the fuel cap. So almost everything is just to the driver's reach. Down here you have your push to start button, and also you have this button which you can use to raise or lower the steering wheel depending on what you need. So you can pull it next to you, you can push it in, you can push it down, or you can lift it up to suit your settings. So whatever it is, you can use this lever to adjust that. On the center console, this is primarily what comes, or what the RAV4 looks like. You have a large infotainment system, though it's not the most premium, it's quite large. That is very, very good. And of course, from what you're seeing, it's simply almost the same infotainment system that you get in the modern Toyota Harriers. From 2021, 2022 all the way, you get a better infotainment system of which you can actively change the language for better understanding. So you get a large infotainment system, though it's not powered by JBL, you can still get some good quality entertainment. Air vents, your hazard button, synthetic leather again on the dashboard with some amazing stitches. And down here for the climate, you have dual AC, of which, as you can see, it's actually very, very good. I actually love these rubbery rotary controls, which actually feels amazing. And of course you can put it on auto, which will also synchronize on the settings to ensure that the temperatures are adjusted accordingly. Now that it is on auto, you notice that the fans are sped up kidogo, so tutaitoa kwa auto, and then of course we lower the the fan speed because we might not be able to mtanisikia vizuri because of the fan speed. Several other controls, and for the Toyota RAV4 I think this is very practical. These physical touch buttons are very, very nice, and this is what you need in case uko very cold and you're wearing maybe some gloves or something. You can still actually press these buttons here, unlike the modern cars where it's full touch. At times it becomes a bit of a inconvenience. Maybe you're wearing gloves, you cannot touch the sensitive screen. Down here the seats are heated and cooled, so depending on what you have or what you need, you can heat and cool the seats both for the front passenger and the driver. Okay, so this is actually a very good feature, even though it's only over one level, but it is very much okay. Another thing here is the traction control. You can switch it on and off from this side, which is pretty much okay. Then of course you have another poverty button here, of which it's missing some settings. On the center console, this actually looks very good to me. Down here you have storage space for your phone. For the highest streams I've seen it comes with a wireless charger, but for this, because we actually said this is not the highest stream, so it actually misses a few things. Down there you have your HDMI port and USB port for you to charge your accessories, and then of course also you have your 12-volt output to power a few other stuff. The center console is nicely done, it's very firm actually, so kalia fiti. Now in terms of the transmission, you have your gear shifter for the CVT, and for the Toyota RAV4 you get two transmissions. You can go for the direct shift CVT, or you can go for the manual transmission, which is a bit more lively. I think people like that more, but for the modern world, what wameamua, it's always automatic. Yeah, I think it's very practical. You just switch on the car, shift the gears, and you're off to drive. But for the legends, manual all the way. So down here you have several controls for the car. You have your auto hold, your electronic parking brake, and then of course you have the most important features on this vehicle. If you want to save on fuel, you can switch it to eco mode, of which you see there on the clusters it turns to green. You can put it back to normal, of which it turns to white. And if you need some thrilling driving experience, you can switch it to sports mode, of which you're seeing everything turns to red. So normal is the most preferred, but for those of you driving in the highway with adaptive, you can use your cruise control and you put it on eco. It will save you on a lot of fuel, but also it might compromise on how fast you can accelerate. So maybe on the highway and you're not worrying about the fuel, weka sports mode and make sure you use your cruise control. Kama utaki madoido mingi, just leave it on normal. Ukiwa kwa traffic mali itakukunya mafuta, put it on eco, itakusaidia kidogo. As soon as you're done, switch it off. So we've said eco, normal and sports mode. And now we say this car can rival the Toyota RAV4 when it comes to off-road capabilities. And in this case, you have your snow mode, which you can turn it on and off. Next to it is mud and sand. If you're driving in a space that you're not maybe you've gone to Turkana where you can get a lot of sand or heavy dust, you can go for the sand mode. And also, if it rains when you're driving in a muddy environment, you can put it in mud and sand mode. And then of course, if you're driving in rocky or a place that has uneven gravel on the road, you can always activate the rock and dirt, which could handle much better than the others. So as soon as you activate the different driving modes, hapo inabadilisha pia to show you mali uko. For snow mode, utangalia hapo juu inakuonyesha some sort of crystals hapo. mud and sand, it turns to the color of sand, inakuanga brownish, and then rock and dirt, itakuonyesha pia, it will display some rocks over there. So depending on mahali utakuwa unaendesha, yeah, this is the best for you. Apart from that, we have two cup holders. These it gives you two levels. If you have something larger that cannot move down, it will sit on these edges. If you have something thin, then it will always go down. On this center console, I think these are an aftermarket additions on this, because on the top side you have a tray on top, which I think it should be we should be able to open, but I'm not seeing a button to open the top tray. But yeah, there should be a way to open this, but no, I can't find it. So anyway, you can open this space here, which doubles as a storage space, and the first thing you will meet is this tray on top, maybe to put something. And if you need to access the deeper storage space, you just move it away to give you better storage spacing. Now down there, it comes with two USB ports again, to make sure that your accessories are charged, or you can get power for your accessories and all that. The dashboard is nicely done, very beautiful design over there for the Toyota RAV4. It is very thoughtful. If you have a few things that you don't need to put in the glove compartment, you can just push it there. Maybe the front passenger is sleepy and they don't need to use their phone, maybe they can leave it there. But those are flying debris. In case of any accident, vile vitu umezieka hapo, they'll smash into you heavily. So you need to be careful, even though in the roads you'll never predict what will happen. But if you don't need to put things there, don't put it. But if you, for usability, weka vitu hapo. This is a bit more of plastic, with also some fake stitches on that, and everything else generally looks amazing. The seats are pretty good, both for the front passenger and the driver. The seats are heated, and of course the seats are electrically adjustable on either side. The only thing missing is that for the front passenger, you don't get memory settings or memory seats like what you get on the driver's side. Now let me take you through the second row, and then of course we'll talk about the rest of the things. But before you do that, you have your digital rear view mirror, which is pretty amazing, in HD. And then of course on the top side you have LED lighting for the interior, and I think I like the white lighting. It makes the car feels more lively and more modern, unlike all the other lights what napata zinakaa yellow. If you need to open the sunroof, you have this button here to close the sheer, okay, which it takes like forever to close, but for me I have no complaints about it. Bora gari iko na sunroof, mimi niko chonjo. And remember, ukiwa na gari ya sunroof, you need to be very very careful. Ukiwa kwa weather kama hii, where it's rainy, you need to be very 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 careful to ensure that the sunroof is nicely cleaned. Kama umetoka kwa dry season, a lot of debris might have collected inside there, of which when the rain starts, those debris might clog the drainage. So make sure the drainage of the car is cleared before the rain started, so that you don't find the sunroof imekulokia, imekataa kufungika, or the motors fail because of the debris that you get there. Other than that, panoramic sunroof on this unit, which feels amazing, all the way from the front side to that other side. So it is a feature that most of you are looking for, and this Toyota RAV4 has it. So let me show you the rear side, and on the doors you have your chrome finishing. The design on the door, nicely done, not so much difference. Water bottle storage or door bins, a larger speaker, and you get this space. This is actually very large, very very comfortable spacing. I think in terms of legroom, headroom, comfortability, the usability, everything looks good. And I like the quality of the seats. Even though the seats are not heated, there's some very good quality, amazing leather, amazing stitches over there. You have your isofix anchor points for your kids and all that, and it's a very practical SUV. Yeah, nikiwa nimekaa hapa, look at how far I can recline my seats, and oh sorry, this is how deep I can tuck in my legs, so I get some adequate spacing. For those of you who want to complain about the space, for Mazda CX-5 it's comfortable but not the largest, but for this RAV4 you can actually see how large it is, and this is just with the driver's seat in the normal positioning. If you can push it forward further, then you can get some extra space. Down here you have your air vents, which you can only control the direction of the airflow, but of course you cannot control the AC on this side, which is a bit unfortunate for a car like this. Some two other stuff that I like: 2 USB ports to charge your things. We live in a world where power is essential, especially for accessories, our phones. Ukiwa umekaa hapo nyuma, you don't have to depend on whoever is on the front side for you to charge your accessories. So hapa nyuma iko tu sawa. Usability, practicality, you have this drop down armrest. If you're sitting two of you here on the rear side, you can actively use the cup holders, and of course you can use the armrest for better comfort. Other than that, kila kitu iko sawa. So all I can say about this Toyota RAV4 is that it is excellent, it is nicely done, and you get excellent design on it. Now that we are done with the interior, we have to talk about the exterior of the car. Even though there is a bit of rain, I'll excuse myself. I'm an excuse. Who is supposed to excuse the other? But either way, it is what it is. This is the design. Very, very good finishing. I love this Toyota RAV4. It's very, very bulkier. It looks very imposing. It's quite large. And kama when ule msee wa kupark, unajua kuna watu wengine they'll take like forever to park a car. Yeah, I know. Kuna watu wengine wanajua they can actually put in their brain to see how large their car is. Alafu kuna mtu mwingine lazima atategemea mtu mwingine amsaidie kupark the vehicle. This is one of those cars that you need to be very careful, especially if you are this size. And also because it has the model is a body kit, the ground clearance might be slightly compromised, but it makes the car look more beautiful. So ni wewe uchague, utachukua the design or you'll compromise on the few things. So you have your beautiful grille, a number of sensors on the front side, front facing camera, LED headlights, daytime running lights on top, your turn signals, which is bulb technology, very powerful fog lights over there, and of course on the lower side you have additional daytime running lights. So for the Toyota RAV4, it actually feels pretty good. Now again on about the tail lights or the lighting on the RAV4, the tail lights are quite good, very well done. LEDs, your reverse light also has some bulb technology, turn signal ni bulb, and then the only thing that is not very good about the Toyota RAV4 is that this is the brake light. Brake light yake ni kadogo. Ukiwa unakafuata nyuma brake light utakoona hapa na pale juu. Other than that, all these ni tail lights peke yake. The design also on the rear side feels really, really good. I love the finishing that you get here. The tailgate is electric, bulkier, rear bumper, a number of sensors, reflectors. We have double exhaust, which makes the car look more premium. And of course, it is a premium crossover SUV. You have your rear facing camera, being reminded that this is a Toyota RAV4, Toyota emblem, brushed chrome finishing, and of course you have a mini spoiler right there, which feels amazing. Other than that, in terms of the design, I think RAV4 scores highly. Imetengenezwa vizuri sana. I know there's some people who love the RAV4. And one downside about the rear side of the RAV4 is that it is lifted kidogo. Ukiangalia hivi, the front side iko na the angle of attack is a bit low, but the angle of departure on this side is quite high. So kama uko na mzigo huku nyuma, you've opened the tailgate and you need to put some luggage hapo, kidogo inaweza kuwa iko juu, but it's not to an extent that it will give you trouble lifting heavy stuff. But kama ni the daily groceries and all that, you get some amazing storage space. So here for practicality, instead of this fabric material, Toyota RAV4 wamekwekea this plastic to protect the integrity of the materials here on the back. So if you have some scratchy stuff which can damage the quality of the material used, RAV4 wameweka plastic all over, so that at least in case if it is scratching or rough stuff, haita damage the interior of the car. You have your anchor points on either side. Kuna moja hapa, there's another one there, another one here, and another one on this side. A few pockets on the edges to put a few things. 12 volt output to power your pressure pump. And yeah, if you need extra spacing for this RAV4, ikiwa tu hivi, you get 560 liters of space, but you can fold the rear seats to get up to 1200 liters of boot space, which is excellent for an SUV. The only other car that can rival this in terms of that kind of space is the Subaru Forester. That is our tailgate closed. Yeah. So let us talk about the engine size of the car. So for Toyota RAV4, primarily you get 3 engine options to choose from. You get the 2-liter naturally aspirated, which is this one here. You get another 2.5-liter naturally aspirated, and if you want something that is fuel efficient, something that has a bit more of power, you can go for the 2.5-liter hybrid. which that one is a bit more exclusive or a bit more premium. Itakuja na so many features. It has a different type of headlights over there. The quality of the seats pia ni tofauti, and that one comes most of the time with JBL audio system and almost all the optional features that you want in a car. The 2.5 liter hybrid has that. Now, this being a 2 liter petrol engine, you'll get an average of 16 kilometers per liter, but that heavily depends on the driving condition, the driving location, the driving style, and how much luggage you're carrying, and whether the car is a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive. Now, this is a 2 liter non-turbo petrol, which gives you up to 147 horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque. All that power is sent to all the 4 wheels, because this is a 4-wheel drive via the CVT transmission, of which for the other options you can choose manual transmission, but right now in the Kenyan market most yenye tunaingiza ni automatic, because watu wengi wanataka auto. So yeah, this one has the direct shift CVT transmission. In terms of the fuel economy, because these are 4-wheel, itakupatia an average of 15 kilometers per liter. For the 2-wheel unaweza pata 17 kilometers per liter. When driving in the highway, you get 17 to 18 kilometers per liter. If you're driving in the city, mali kuna traffic and all that, maybe you can get 13 kilometers per liter on a bad day. Other than that, everything is absolutely amazing. Ukikuja huku kwa wheels, you have these 18-inch alloys, of which you can always go for 19 inches in size, but the width of the tire, maybe the thickness of the tire, it decrease kidogo, but other than that, it is very good. You have solid brake discs over there. And this one, for all the RAV4s, inakuja na the McPherson strut suspension with coil and springs with anti-roll bars to minimize on the body roll. So ni kitu iko shwari kabisa. And then when it comes to the rear side, this specific type here comes with double wishbone suspension to ensure that the rear passengers are very, very comfortable. So this is a very, very good car. Genuinely, this Toyota RAV4 is very, very comfortable, nicely tuned, independent double wishbone suspension on the rear side, and also on the front side you get independent McPherson strut suspension with coil and springs that to ensure that this car handles the Kenyan roads nicely. Now, another advantage on this car over the others is that the ground clearance on this is up to 200 millimeters, which you can say 20 centimeters. And if you try to compare it to the Mazda 6.5, that Mazda 6.5 has some decent or significant ground clearance compared to this. But that is because of the body kit that this Toyota RAV4 comes with. Ingekuwa tu ni without body kit, I think it's almost kutoshana. Though I think the RAV4 has some larger ground clearance, but about that, I don't think there's so much challenge. If you have something that has over 17 centimeters of ground clearance, I think that's amazing. And let me just compare that actively with this. This is the CX-5 and this is the RAV4 without body kit. I don't know if you guys can judge from here which one has a larger ground clearance. RAV4 hapo chini kidogo wameka some thicker stuff. RAV4, yeah. But what I can say is Toyota RAV4 has some decent ground clearance. For CX-5, no complaints about it. This one I can only complain about the ground clearance because of the Modelista body kit. But if you're looking for a car that looks very beautiful, it is amazing, nicely done, very, very comfortable. A car that is good for a family of 5. 5 people can sit there comfortably. Here in Kenya hata watu 7 watakaa ndani ya gari vizuri. Ukiwa na a lot of stuff to carry in the boot section, utarusha na several things. You can unaweza enda ushago, ukabeba viazi, ukabeba nini, itatoshea vizuri sana. So this is a very, very practical SUV, perfect for a family. And also if you love long distance travel, and also if you want to venture into the off-roads, this Toyota RAV4 will handle all those challenges without no issues. So if you're interested in this car, this is a 2019 model and we are asking for 4.9 million shillings. But remember, the price is very much negotiable, so we might even come down to around 4.65 million on a good day if you're buying it on cash. Bank financing also, we can do that for you. And also we can do trade-in if you have a car, primarily Japanese cars, and unataka ku trade in for this Toyota RAV4, tutakupatia sawa. So what you need to do is you call us, you tell us in advance uko na gari fulani, you want to trade it, namba gani, but you have to prove to us that the car is yours with all the documents. And then of course you bring the car down to Mombasa, we do valuation, alafu tunakupatia an offer. If you like it, tufanye biashara. Other than that, we have all these other vehicles here, yeah, the likes of Mazda 6.5. My lens imenyeshewa. Let me see. Yep. Mazda 6.5 for diesel we are asking 3.3, and this one is a fully spec'd just like the red one huko, iko na kila kitu. The only thing missing is a sunroof. 3.3 million shillings. All these other RAV4s nimewambia. That Lexus RX 300 tunapeana na 6 million shillings only. Kuna ingine ya 2018 tunapeana na 5.5 million kuongea. So if you're interested, you can hit us up. Watu wa Demio, kuna Demio pale, we are asking for 1.48 million shillings kuongea. This Mazda 2 2020 tunataka 1.43 million shillings, best last price. And then of course another Mazda Demio, we want the best price on this is 1.43 million shillings. So if you're interested in any of the cars that you've seen here, hit me up. We'll be able to plug you with the best cars in Mombasa. Thank you so much, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel, Wadeki Auto Trading. See you and bye bye for now.